Hello everybody, it's Wednesday and it's time for Off the Ledge. Today is the last day of April 2025, April 30th. It's my nephew's birthday. I just sent him a card, an e-card. Anyway, happy birthday if it's your birthday, if you're a Taurus. Happy Taurus month. The events that are happening in the United States are so fast and furious and in our face that I know that it's hard to keep track, but there's one thing I want everyone to remember about. I know you're incredulous when we look at the MAGA people, and we just can't understand it. I just want people to understand that it's a cult, and that I'm going to write a Substack about this too. Understand that it's a C-U-L-T. It's a cult. Trump has been using cult mind control tactics for probably his whole life, but in earnest in terms of being a political figure for like 10 years. So I'll talk about that later too. And we're doing a show today, Kathy Beal and I, we're doing a show at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to catch us live, that's where we'll be. But just to kind of cool your jets about things, understand the whole term about they drank the Kool-Aid comes from the Jim Jones cult, where he had them so stymied and so brainwashed that even though their logical minds knew that drinking the Kool-Aid that was laced with, I think it was cyanide, even though they knew that all that was going on in that Jim Jones cult was terrible for them. He destroyed lives of, I don't know how many people total, but it was a lot of people. But he understood as a cult leader that he could get them all hyped up to believe that he was the Messiah, that there was nothing he could do that was wrong. Now we heard Dumpy yesterday or the day before saying that he wants to be Pope. There you go. Anyway, we'll get into that later. Tonight is Psychic News Network, so join us for that. And join us at 3 with Kathy to go over the political astrology, and we'll play her report, her astrology report for today in a moment, after we read Ernest Holmes. I will praise thee, O Lord my God, with all my heart, and I will glorify thy name forevermore. I know that people get turned off by the word God. It's spiritual inspiration. You can plug in whatever you want for God. God means whatever God means, whatever you decide God means to you. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, you know what I'm saying? I turn my thought to joy, which I know is vibrating through all of life. Through my own being, in my innermost mind and heart, I reach deep into infinite being and hear the song of gladness that sings through all manifestations of life. We know that it also sings in us as we give it expression. We feel the throb of life in all the harmony of form around us, in tree and flower and grass, in blue sky and clouds, in the beauty of evening sunset. Wherever we look, we hear and feel the underlying joyous note that life sings and that comes to its culmination in God's perfect life. Now, deep within our innermost beings, we attune ourselves to this God-conscious being, which we truly are. We permit God's perfect idea of us to be manifest, to flow forth into expression. We know that we, God's perfect children, cannot contain grief, sadness, and inharmony. We know that in our true selves, we are joy, for we are God life. Our life is buoyant, vivacious, sparkling, and free. It contains all good. It is unity, perfection, love. And so we know that nothing can make us, the real us, sad or dejected or heavy-hearted. The way is made clear before us, and it is filled with joy and harmony. We are peace. We are love. We are power. We are vitality and strength and all good. And so it is. Yay, Ernest. I love Ernest Holmes. Remember, he lived in very tumultuous times, but the teachings have survived for millennium. Let's listen to Kathy first, and then we'll pull some cards. I hope you're having a good day. It's a beauty here in New England. Finally. Finally, finally. Fire signs like sun. Yes, we do. Let's let the truck go by. So, April 30th. So we're right in the Beltane season. Today, tomorrow, we're celebrating the beginnings of spring and the flowers and all that good stuff. Okay, let me just find this. Okay, so this is April 30th. Kathy Bill is at empowermentunlimited.net. Please go there and book
This is Kathy
session.
Bill of empowermentunlimited.net with Astro Insight for April 30th, 2025. Everybody is caffeinated, whether they're drinking coffee or not. This is an incredibly high energy day.
Definitely.
Venus is moving into Aries. Relationships are catching fire. Your desire to go after whatever it is you want, catching fire. Nobody's waiting for anyone to give them permission or tell them what to do or even get out of the way. A lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, a lot of excitement, high energy. It's going to continue for a few weeks. Have fun with it. That's all for now.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing that it's a high energy day, high energy tomorrow. There are protests tomorrow. Please go if you can. If you cannot attend a rally or protest for whatever reason, doesn't matter what reason. I had this idea today that we could start kind of bragging about doing one thing to save our democracy every single day. I might start that up. Let me figure out how I can set that up in what format. One thing a day to save our democracy. So here we are. Be very careful not to focus on all the negativity. Don't put your focus on Dumpy. Take it right off. Believe me, you'll feel better if you take your focus off how horrible he is. There was a terrible interview. Well, I guess you could say it was a good interview because it was revealing. But don't think the MAGAs are going to change their mind because Dumpy's looking ridiculous or sounding ridiculous. So I'm thinking about those people in Michigan at that rally. He lies. Like Navalny said about Putin, he never stops lying. But don't let him throw you. We will not be backing down. And I hear that Kamala is doing some kind of an event tonight too. So we'll look into that. I'll get more details about that. 3 cards to guide us through today. I'll do a pop-up after this too. And thank you for hitting the thumbs up, and thank you for subscribing, and for all your kind comments and your support. They do not go unnoticed. It's a really big deal to me. It really is. Okay, so now the guilt card is coming up, and the comparison card is coming up. So I think what's in the air today is we're looking at the appearance of him just throwing away our Constitution and being the dictator. We're looking at the illusion of that. I want to tell you about something that I read recently. And there's a person called Keith Edwards. His name is Keith Edwards, and you may have seen him. He does have a YouTube channel. He's pretty good. I'm grateful for all these young men who have really shown us what it is to be a young man, a stand-up guy. And Keith Edwards had a post that said, not sure who he was listening to, but he mentioned that Trump can't really throw out the Constitution because the Constitution is the only thing that gives him the right to be president. Without our Constitution, we don't even have a president. So, just, food for thought. We're going to keep working hard. So there's guilt, and there's comparison, and then there's the lovers. This is speaking to us finding common ground. This is speaking to, I know it's probably hard to believe this, but the people that got swayed, that didn't fully get sucked into the cult 100%, are feeling guilty that they voted for him as they compare what we had under Joe Biden and under a really good democracy to what we have now. This is speaking a little bit to, I know this is hard to believe too. I don't want to, I don't want you guys to think I'm all Pollyanna. Some of the Republicans are feeling guilty for allowing this to happen to the United States of America, for allowing this downward spiral to continue for the United States of America. There is guilt. There are some people in that formerly known as a Republican Party, as far as I'm concerned. They're MAGA now. They could have stopped it, and they didn't. And now the American people who voted for him, and we know the vote, we know that it was rigged by Elon and Putin. But anyway, just for the sake of addressing the people that voted for him, they are comparing him to the alternative. And it's pretty stark. And it's pretty undeniable to all of those who aren't, there are different levels of being in the cult, right? Some people are all in and only spew conspiracy, like the ones that were at the rally in Michigan last night. And some are like, oh, I think I made a mistake. We are finding common ground in this country. Don't anybody doubt that. When it comes to, can we afford food? When it comes to, can I take grandma to a doctor appointment, or mother or father? When it comes down to those elderly people used to get Meals on Wheels, and now they're hungry. Now they're going hungry, and that goes for children too. We're going to do everything we can to prevent it from coming to that. But we will be on common footing. Even with the threat of it, we'll see that we have common ground. And that's the only way we become the actual United States of America. Again. All right, I'll do a pop-up in a little bit. Remember to catch Kathy and I at 3 p.m. Eastern Time if you want to catch us live, or you can watch it on replay. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to Kathy. Thank you to Shelley for doing the show with me from Healing Truth Tarot the other day. And we'll see you soon. Love yourself. Go plant some flowers. Namaste.